Hey everyone, welcome to this HD video review. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can because I don't think you can see the time there. It's about 12:21 and my mom probably should be showing up in about 20-something minutes. But anyway, I thought I'd do a review on this. I did a review on the pricing guide and the book yesterday. And this one is Transformers, the Ultimate Guide. You can tell it's kind of been... I've definitely, it's been around for a while. The Ultimate Guide. You see how much I paid for it. I got this at Hastings, and right there it says, "At last, the first fully authorized history of the amazing Transformers." And then right there you can read what it says. It says, "First came the toys, vehicles that were actually robots in disguise, then comic books and an animated TV series brought the Transformers and the stories to life. Since then, the Transformers universe has expanded to encompass a rich mythology, a huge cast of characters, and a series of intergalactic wars spanning millennia. This is the book to explain and illustrate their epic history." And you can see right there it says, "Cross-section artworks of the inner mechanisms of the Transformers, mechanics of the Transformers, overall artwork showing Cybertron, the Autobots arc is in astonishing detail, profiles for key characters for each Transformers generation, complete with tech specs, extensive reviews of toy lines, TV series, and comic chronologies. I can't even pronounce it right now. But anyway, this is a great book, and like I said, the price guide is definitely for collector's items. Overall, if you're a Transformers fan, this is the book to have right here. You can see what it has on the inside. It's got a big old splash page right there in blue. Gives you the contents of what's right here. Like here's generation 1, a huge list, no doubt. Then it gives you generation 2 right here. Beast Wars and Beast Machines are right here. Robots in Disguise, Armada and Energon, Dreamwave. So yeah. But this is great. This is just a great book to have as a collector because it gives you that extensive history. It's got some great artwork in here. I mean, look at this, a huge splash page just to begin the Generation 1 section. I mean, what more can you ask about that? You can't. And here's Cybertron, and it definitely goes into a great history about Cybertron. And then right there, if you can read it, kind of gives you that history. Basically saying that Cybertron was Primus himself. Primus is Cybertron, if you know what I mean. But just gives you this extensive detail. Goes really in depth of the Transformers of Cybertron. It gives you the planetary history. I mean, this is a book you have to get. Go on Amazon or eBay and get this thing. Or go to Barnes & Noble. It gives you the city of Icon. Look at that. The Autobot city, if you will. The hub capital of Cybertron. I mean, what more could you ask for in something like that? Talks about the Civil War, gives you the Autobots and Decepticons of the Cybertronian forms, I guess you could say at this moment. Gives you a timeline as well. I mean, this is just just a great extensive detailing of the history. I mean, and the artwork is done, I think, by the people that did Dreamwave Comics and IDW Comics. Of course, you get the Ark's history and all that, and the detail of how the Ark was built. I mean, this is just, I mean, heck, you have Matrix interface. I mean, what more can you ask for from from the ultimate guide, if you will? And then, of course, you have Optimus Prime right here. I mean, look at it gives you a detail of what he looks like on the inside, where the Matrix is, and all that. Gives you his Cybertronian mode. Sorry for the truck in the background. Gives you his Cybertronian mode. And basically now his Earth mode as well. It's pretty. I mean, this is just. I mean, it gives you so much detail. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys about this. I mean, that's the same for Megatron as well. I mean, there you have his Cybertronian mode. He was a tank. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to give you the middle finger. It shows you all his details, and then shows you his Earth mode. Pretty cool. And then it gives you the Autobot officers, basically those that have been fighting for a while. I mean, look at this. You got Ratchet, you got Bumblebee, you got Jazz, you got Prowl. I mean, it's just unbelievable. They give you all these details. It gives you the intelligence, it gives you the speed, the endurance. I mean, you name it. Trying to make sure I don't skip over any pages. Then you got the Autobot Troopers. Here you have Sideswipe right here. You have Wheeljack down here. Ironhide. You have Sunstreaker. You have RC. And her intelligence is 8. Endurance 7. Strength 7. Firepower 7. Courage 9. Speed 8. Skill 10. Rank 8. And then you have the Decepticons and everything they have. Intelligence for like Shockwave is a 10. And Strength is a 10. I mean, look at that. That's Shockwaves right there. And then you have Starscream. You have Skywarp. You have the Insecticons. You have Octane. Then you have Soundwave and company here. Rumble. Actually, that's Frenzy. That's Rumble. They kind of mix that up. We have Laserbeak. You have Squatbox, who is actually Beastbox and Squat Talk together. Then you have the Dinobots. Show you some scenes as well from the animated. Dinobots. It says Dinosaur Bones version, Shockwave version. 2 different versions of how they came about. Then you have the Combiners, who you have Devastator, the Constructicons. I mean, this is just an extensive detail. Shows you how... I mean, what more can you ask for from this character? And then, of course, it goes into the seasons. They basically give you key episodes from each series and season. Like here's season 1. They show you what the key episodes are. like More Than Meets the Eye, Transport to Oblivion, Fire in the Sky, SOS Dinobots, Ultimate Doom, Heavy Metal War. And then for Season 2, it gives you Dinobot Island, Megatron's Master Plan, Microbots, Secret Omega Supreme, Search for Alpha Trion is a key episode, Key to Vector Sigma, Starscream's Blockade, Cosmic Rust, War Dawn, and then there's Omega Supreme right there, and Alpha Trion there. Then it talks about the movie. I mean, again, what more can you ask for in this? And it talks about the U.S. comics from Marvel. I used to have that little digest. I don't know what happened to it. Some of these I do have. Like, I do have that issue. And I think that issue too. And it talks about the second comics here. Then it talks about the UK comics. The second edition of the UK comics. Then it talks about key episodes from seasons 3 and 4, like Five Faces of Darkness, Starscream's Ghost, Forever the Long Time Coming, Ghost in the Machine, Only Human, Dark Awakening. Here you have Blitzwing, here you have Skylink. The Return of Optimus Prime and Rebirth are the key episodes they talk about. Then they talk about Unicron, and they go into detail of how he's built, his history, and how it's connected to Primus, aka Cybertron, if you will. And then they got the Quintessence here. Then they talk about Primus here. Then they talk about the special teams like the Aerial Bots, the Protector Bots, Stunticons, and Combaticons. And you see them in the combiner forms. Then they talk about the Headmasters and the Target Masters. Then Power Master Prime and his history. The Pretenders. And then they talk about the Japanese toy line. Japanese G1 toy line, which is unbelievable. And you can see a little bit of the differences here from what we had in America. And then here's ours, the G1 toy lines. The other G1 toys. Then it talks about Generation 2 versus G.I. Joe section. The G2 comics, Beyond Generation, the alignment, if you will. The G2 toys. Then we get into Beast Wars, and it gets into that, just like it did with the other ones. About the arrival, who the characters are. I mean, this is just... this is just a great guide. I mean, it gives you key episodes from Season 1 of Beast Wars. Then it talks about the fusors and transmetals. Gives you key episodes from seasons 2 and 3. And who some of the characters are there. Then it shows you some of the Beast War toys. Kind of shows that Black Arachnia was not designed the way she should have been. It was just taken after Tarantulas. And that you can see that this is actually Ravage, if you will. Then they talk about Beast Machines, the reformatting, and how it all came about, story-wise, who the Maximals all again. The Viacons, if you will, and who was who. And then they give you key episodes for the seasons 1 and 2. And it shows you the Beast Machine toys. I mean, it just really gives you a lot. And then here we get into the animes like Robots in Disguise and the toys there, the New Wave, the Autobots and the Decepticons. And it shows you who Grimlock is here. But that's a different one. Then we get into Armada and Energon. Shows you the Cybertron Revisited, who some of the characters were. Who the Autobots were. Scavenger being an Autobot. Then who the Decepticons are. The Minicons, if you will. Then it shows you the TV series and selected episodes from that saga, as they call it. And it shows you the Armada toys. I mean, it's just a great detail. Then we get into Energon. If you will. And Scorponok is right there. Unicron. You know, Prime right there. It gives you who the Autobots are, the Omnicons, the Decepticons. Shows you the toys. Then it talks about the Dreamwave comics and how they kind of restarted the G1 or rebooted it. I mean, this is just a great guide. The War Within, which I have the novel of, the graphic novel of, definitely worth a read. And then they did some on Armada and Energon, which was pretty cool. So it's really interesting. And then you get the index, and you get a splash page at the end, and Galvatron's toy figure. But overall, this is just a great book. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, it's a book you definitely, if you're a Transformers fan, you got to have this. It really goes great, gives you great, it's got great artwork. There's no doubt that you saw great artwork. It gives you great detail, goes into a lot of great detail of who the characters are, the mythos, the history, I mean, everything. It's really, really worth getting. I suggest looking it up on Amazon, eBay. Look at your local bookstores if you can. If there's a Barnes & Noble or Borders still around, look there. You're going to find this. If you got a Hastings near where you live, look there. This is definitely worth getting. Half price might even have it. But look for this. Get it. It's worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this two-part review of the Transformers Ultimate Guidebook. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you later.